Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing about regulation of kidney function, micturition, role of other organs in excretion and disorders of the urinary system. So, regulation of kidney function. The functioning of kidney is regulated by hormonal feedback mechanism that involve the hypothalamus, JGA, that is juxtaglomerular apparatus, and to a certain extent the atrial wall of the heart. So, changes in the blood volume, body, fluid volume, and ionic concentration activate osmoreceptors in the body. Next, so first we have regulation of kidney function by hypothalamus. When there is a change in blood volume, the body fluid volume, and ionic concentration due to loss of fluid from the body, the osmoreceptors of the body are activated, which stimulate hypothalamus to release antidiuretic hormone, that is ADH, or vasopressin from the posterior lobe of pituitary gland. ADH facilitates water reabsorption from distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct and prevent diuresis causing elimination of hypertonic urine. An increase in body fluid volume can switch off the osmoreceptors and suppress the ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone release, causing elimination of hypotonic urine. ADH or vasopressin also causes constriction of blood vessels and increases the blood pressure. This increases the glomerular blood flow and the GFR. So next, here you are seeing the diagram of this JGA, that is the juxtaglomerular apparatus or juxtamedullary apparatus. So here you are seeing the location, the site of juxtaglomerular apparatus, which is shown in this diagram, and you are seeing here the different regions like distal tubule is there, then macula densa cells, then efferent arteriole, then you are seeing here the podocyte cells also, which we have already discussed during the ultrafiltration. So second, this regulation is by JGA, or we can say that regulation of kidney function by juxtaglomerular apparatus or JGA. JGA operates through a multi-hormonal system called renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or we can say that RAS, RAAS, or renin-angiotensin mechanism. A fall in glomerular blood flow or glomerular blood pressure or GFR can activate the juxtaglomerular cells to release renin, which converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2, a powerful vasoconstrictor, increases the glomerular blood pressure and thereby glomerular filtration rate or GFR. Angiotensin 2 also activates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone, which stimulates the reabsorption of sodium ions and water from the distal parts of the tubule. This also leads to an increase in blood pressure and GFR. So this is the diagram which is showing the renin angiotensin aldosterone system. So here you are seeing the flow chart also. So in this you are observing here JGA operates through a multi-hormonal system called renin-angiotensin aldosterone system. A fall in GFR or glomerular blood pressure, activate the JG cells to release renin, which convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 increases the glomerular blood pressure and thereby GFR also. Angiotensin 2 also activates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone, which stimulates the reabsorption of sodium ions and water from the DCT of the tubule, and this leads to an increase in blood pressure and GFR. Now here I'm also telling you the difference between this renin. There are two types of renin. You are observing here the differences between rannin and renin. So first we have rannin. It is secreted by peptic zymogen cells of gastric gland into the stomach. And second, renin, it is secreted by specialized cells in the afferent arterioles of the kidney cortex. Now, second difference, renin, its secretion is stimulated by food, and next renin, its secretion is stimulated by a reduction of sodium level in tissue fluid. Then third difference, it is secreted as an inactive form prorenin, which is activated to renin by HCl, and second renin, it is secreted as renin. Now, renin is a proteolytic enzyme, and second renin, it is a hormone that acts as an enzyme. Now, renin helps in the digestion of milk protein casein, and second renin, it converts the protein angiotensinogen into angiotensin. Now, the third factor is the regulation of kidney function by ANF, or we can say that by atrial wall of heart. An increase in blood flow or blood pressure in the atria of the heart causes the release of atrial natriuretic factor, that is ANF. ANF or atrial natriuretic factor, a vasodilator, can cause dilation of blood vessels, thereby decreases the blood pressure. Thus, ANF acts antagonistically or as a check on the renin angiotensin mechanism. So, ANF, it causes the vasodilation and it decreases the blood pressure. So, here is the brief content of regulation of kidney function. So, functioning of kidney is monitored by hormonal feedback mechanism of hypothalamus, JGA and ANF. Change in blood volume, body fluid and iron concentration activates the osmoreceptors in the body that stimulate the hypothalamus to release ADH or vasopressin hormones. The ADH facilitates water absorption in tubules. Decrease in glomerular blood pressure activates JG cells to release renin, which converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1 and 2 that increase the glomerular blood pressure and release of aldosterone that increase absorption of sodium ions and water. ANF acts antagonistically or as a check on the renin angiotensin mechanism. So now this is the urine constituents in man. So what are the constituents of urine in man? So water is 96%, urea is 2%, uric acid 0.2%, ammonia 0.25%, creatinine 0.5%, hippuric acid 0.025%, salt 1%. So next, now this composition of urine, so we will be discussing in detail. So urine is a liquid waste product of the kidneys. It comprises of 90 to 96% of water, inorganic salts, some proteins, hormones and variety of metabolites. The yellow color of urine is due to a pigment known as urochrome. An adult human excretes on an average 1 to 1.5 liters of urine per day. The urine is light yellow or straw colored watery fluid which is slightly acidic. The pH is nearly 6 and has a characteristic odor. It contains urea, creatinine, and very little of ammonia and uric acid. On an average, 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted per day by a normal healthy adult individual. Presence of glucose in the urine is called glycosuria, and presence of ketone bodies in the urine is called ketonuria. Now here you can see the various conditions which affect the characteristics of the urine. So Benedict test for glucose in urine is shown here. Urine analysis help in clinical diagnosis of many metabolic disorders and malfunctioning of the kidney. So as already I have told you, the presence of glucose in the urine, it is known as glycosuria, and presence of ketone bodies in the urine, it indicates ketonuria. Now next is micturition. So what is micturition? The act of voiding urine from the urinary bladder is called micturition, or in simple term we can say that it is the release of urine. So it is a reflex process but can be controlled to some extent by adults. When the urinary bladder it gets filled, the stretch receptors on the walls of the bladder send signal to the central nervous system. The central nervous system passes on motor messages to initiate contraction of smooth muscles of urinary bladder. The simultaneous relaxation of the urethral sphincter causes the release of urine. So here are the steps: gradual filling of urinary bladder, stretching of urinary bladder, stretch receptors on its wall send impulses to central nervous system, central nervous system passes on motor messages, contraction of smooth muscles of the bladder and simultaneous relaxation of urethral sphincter, then it causes the micturition, that is the release of urine. Role of other organs in excretion. Other than the kidneys, lungs, liver and skin also help in the elimination of excretory waste. First, lungs. Our lungs eliminate large volume of carbon dioxide, approximately 200 milliliter per minute or 18 liters per day, and also significant quantity of water vapor in a day. Then second is liver. Liver secretes bile that contains substances like bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins and drugs. Most of these substances are eliminated along with digestive waste. Third is skin. Sweat and sebaceous glands in the skin are also involved in the elimination of certain waste through their secretions. First, sweat glands secrete watery fluid called sweat. It contains sodium chloride, small amount of urea, lactic acid, etc. Though the primary function of sweat is to cool the body surface, it also helps in the removal of the wastes present in it. Then second, sebaceous glands eliminate sterols, hydrocarbons and wax through sebum. Sebum also provides a protective oily covering for the skin. Small amounts of nitrogenous wastes are also eliminated through saliva. Now the next topic is disorders of the urinary system. So first we have uremia. Now what is uremia? Malfunctioning of kidneys can lead to accumulation of urea in blood, a condition called uremia, which is highly harmful and may lead to kidney failure. In such patients, urea can be removed by a process called hemodialysis. So what is hemodialysis? During this process, the blood drained from a convenient artery is pumped into a dialysing unit called artificial kidney. Blood drained from a convenient artery is pumped into a dialysing unit after adding an anticoagulant like heparin. The unit contains a coiled cellophane tube surrounded by a dialysing fluid having the same composition as that of plasma, except the nitrogenous waste. The porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of molecules based on concentration gradient. As nitrogenous waste are absent in the dialysing fluid, these substances freely move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein after adding antiheparin to it. So, this method is a boon for thousands of uremic patients all over the world. Next, kidney transplantation. So, it is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failure. A functioning kidney is used in the transplantation from a donor, preferably a close relative, to minimize its chances of rejection by the immune system of the host. Modern clinical procedures have increased the success rate of such a complicated technique. The next disorder is renal calculi, stone or insoluble mass of crystallized salts formed within the kidney. Next is glomerulonephritis. It is the inflammation of glomeruli of kidney. Next is diabetes insipidus. So it is caused by deficiency of ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, and is marked by huge amount of urine and intense thirst. So its name itself, diabetes insipidus. Diabetes means overflow, insipidus is tasteless. So it distinguishes it from diabetes mellitus. So diabetes mellitus, in which insulin deficiency causes the blood sugar loss through urine.